what's up? It's Ricardo, junkguysdfw.net, and this is the Junk Project vlog number 3. Introduced to you, Michelle from
alljunkedup.net.
That's my thing. And of course, I'm Ricardo with junkguysdfw.net, whatever. Anyway, guys, we got a great one. Today we're going to talk about our eviction that we did together.
Yes.
So go ahead and let's just dive in. I think a lot of people want to know a lot of information about the eviction, how it worked out and how much money we made during it, and what kind of problems we ran into it and how we did it.
All right, so I got a call from a customer named Todd in Fort Worth, and he had this huge eviction get ready to come up, and I'll be honest, I've never done evictions, so I really didn't know how to bid the job, what to do with the job, and I contacted you.
So when you call me, you tell me it was an eviction. I did not talk to the fella, but you had told me we needed 5 to 8 people out there.
Correct.
And that was going to be a situation where we had to work out something between us.
Right.
I got 8 people out there. We got 8 people, so we got TNT Junk Removal.
Correct.
Eric Vidal with Mid-Cities Junk Removal.
Correct.
Jay's Junk Removal, that's Jay. Herrera's Hauling.
Right, and his wife.
And his wife.
And my 2 guys, I had
all junked up.
TJ and Jonathan.
And that makes about 8.
Yeah.
And me, 8. So we got 8 people. Are we missing one company? I think we got everybody.
I think we did get everybody.
Okay, so those are the 8 companies that came out. I mean, those are the 8 people that came out there. This was for day 1.
Right. Okay.
We had no idea how much stuff there was going to be, but you actually drove by. Tell me about that.
So I got there early, and I thought, let's do a drive-by, see, what the property looks like, what we're kind of getting into, because when somebody says, hey, we need 6 to 8 people, I'm a little concerned. Although we had everybody coming out, that tells me it's a pretty big job. And so I drove by, and wow, it was pretty big. So there was about, 7 to 8 vehicles in the yard. Yeah. One including a huge RV. Yeah,
and this is where we started running into problems. So you noticed all the vehicles on there. So let's talk about the vehicles that there was. There was a motor home, about a 40-foot motor home on the property, a Yukon, a Kia, a Camaro, a 16-foot trailer, and 2 boats.
2 boats and
an Escalade.
And
8 vehicles.
A chopper.
Oh, 9 vehicles. 9 vehicles were on the property, and we were in charge of getting them off. So then we started running into the problem, and I'm thinking this whole time, money. All right, so I think it's very important that we talk about and explain to people how we worked out our price first before we worked out the price with the customer.
Okay.
So when she called me, I agreed that I would take upon all the expenses for the job this big. It was her job, but I was jumping in to help her out. So I would put up the money. Any expenses that we used, paying the employees, if we had a dumpster or bags of trash or anything, disposal fees, I would pay that.
Right.
And any profit that we would make, we'd split right down the middle.
Right.
We'd take all the expenses off the top.
Right.
And then we would get paid.
Right.
All right, so that's what we agreed on, and it was more of a verbal contract, but then we had worked together, so we trusted each other.
Right.
Not a big deal.
It's never been an issue, so, trust is there.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get into what was our biggest problems.
Man, the vehicles, they were in the way.
Yeah.
And we had to, this is maybe a, 1,500 square foot home?
Yeah, it wasn't that big.
No, it wasn't that big, but we did have to get everything from inside the house to the curb.
Right.
Right? And we had 2 hours to get it done in. And so that was the biggest thing, right? And
well, before we even started doing that, we had a problem with what we're going to charge the people.
That's right.
And that's where I decided to step in. You asked me to go negotiate a price.
I did.
So guys, I'm going to tell you what happened. We got there. 10 o'clock, we walked into the property, we assessed the situation, we saw everything wrong with the situation, and that's when everybody started working. I told everybody to stop.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So I'm yelling at them, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Let me work out a price, and you told me to go talk to the people and give them a price.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what happened, guys. I took in charge of this part. I love negotiating. I love giving people price. It's the thing I do, okay?
Man, you are good at it. I'm going to tell you right now.
So I walk up to the customer and I said, listen, we have boats, we have vehicles, we have a motor home, we have a hot tub, everything inside the house, everything outside. There's hazardous material. We will do it for complete $10,000.
Correct.
And they jumped at it.
They did.
And you were surprised because you had said $6,000 to $7,000. And this is at the back of the house. We're by ourselves, and she's going, I think we should charge $6,000 or $7,000. I'm like, we can't make any money at that price.
Yeah.
So I pulled her to the side. I said, let me take over. She asked me to. I went over, talked to the owners. I worked out a price of $10,000. And then you said, well, what are you going to charge them? And we said $10,000. You were like, what?
Yeah, man, that was awesome because there's a lot of work involved. I mean, just a lot. There was so much stuff and so much recycle, so much, again, the vehicles being in the way, the whole property. I don't even know how big the property was, but I mean, just stuff strewn all over the place. It's not like it was all in one area. It was all over.
So the biggest problems were we had no idea what the price was. We figured that out.
Right.
We knocked that out.
Right.
What kind of equipment we were going to do, we knocked that out.
We did.
talked about getting a dumpster out there.
Right.
And then getting 3 companies to bring trailers.
Yep.
And then another big problem was this renter, the evicted.
Right.
Was he going to leave us alone?
Right.
We exactly didn't know what we were going to be removing, so we decided to put everything on the curb. And you actually talked to the constable about the laws. So you want to explain that too? Because I think there's a lot of people out there that don't know the law yet.
So you generally have like 2 hours to remove everything from inside the house and put it to the curb. And you can't touch it, you can't remove it or haul it off or anything. The renter has 24 hours to have access to the property to remove anything that they can. Now they don't have access to inside the house.
Yeah, no inside the house.
None.
Yeah.
We pulled everything out and the only thing they had access to was the property itself.
Okay.
So that's generally how the law works on those evictions.
In Texas. So all the trash was placed on the curb. But how about the vehicles?
We couldn't touch the vehicles. I mean, we had to just leave them, and we can't move them because the renter has 24 hours to see.
So he has access to it, but we don't.
Correct.
Okay, and at this point, we're drawing straws. Who's going to keep all the vehicles?
Correct.
Because they had a chopper on the property, which was a big Harley motorcycle.
Man, it was beautiful.
And she took dibs on that. I had dibs on the trailer. I had dibs on the Kia and the Camaro. Everybody's taking dibs on everything.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about our expenses for the first day.
So we
paid Herrera and his wife $100 a piece. Now, I will tell you, you're thinking $100. What they were doing all that? No. We only worked for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours of work. So it's $50 an hour. I mean, I don't know how many junk removal companies across the U.S., but I'm going to say 0 pay their employees $50 an hour.
Right.
Okay. So our first expense was Herrera, his wife. That's $200, $100 a piece.
Correct.
We didn't play Anthony Jones because we made a deal with Anthony Jones, who is TNT Junk Removal, that he would take all the recycling the next day.
Right.
And then we would pay him for his trailer.
Right.
Okay, so no expense there. Then we had Jay's Junk Removal, gave him $100.
Yeah.
Gave Eric Vidal from Mid Cities Junk Removal $100.
Right.
And gave your 2 workers $100 a piece.
Right.
TJ.
TJ and
Jonathan. Now, notice that me and her did not take any expense.
No.
We didn't take pay because we knew we're getting paid the next day.
Right.
So I decided not to take pay the first day. You decided not to take pay the next. But my expenses were already $600.
Right.
Everything was on the curb, and let's go into day numero dos.
So day 2, we get there. So they had from 12:45 from day 1.
When we finished
in the afternoon to 12:45 p.m. to day 2. So we gave them till 1 o'clock. We show up.
And I was really frustrated that you gave him an additional 15 minutes because this guy was really ticking me off. The renter, the evicted.
Right.
He was really pissing me off. He wouldn't agree with us. Ugh, it was making me mad.
He was a little difficult to work with. So we get there. They have like the biggest U-Haul you can rent parked right in the way, so we can't move it. We can't even start. I mean, the U-Haul's literally in the way. We can't even
right in the driveway.
There's really not much room to walk around it, even if we could start. So we really had to wait. Then on top of that, they lost the keys to the U-Haul.
And I think they set us up on that crap.
I think they did too.
And then she tells me, give him an additional 15 minutes. And I'm like, no, get this guy off the property and let's go. So we gave him 15 minutes because she's the boss. Of course, she's the boss. An additional 15 minutes. And then our 40-yard dumpster gets there.
Right.
Expense, by the way, $600. So I'm down $1,200 and not $1 is coming into my pocket so far.
Right.
Okay. Pretty much. All the equipment, all the recycling that we had set up in the back to give to Tony was gone.
It was gone. The chopper was gone.
The chopper was gone.
The Kia was gone.
My Kia was gone.
2 boats were gone.
Yeah, which we're going to give to Tony for payment.
Yeah.
So
and then the Escalade was gone.
The Escalade, which was Tony's too.
Yeah.
They were gone too.
Yeah.
So Tony's all depressed and walking around moping on the property and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what happened, and this is day 2, guys. We're out there, we're cleaning up, we're about to start cleaning up. This guy's really ticked me off. She wants that additional 15 minutes, and I'm like, get out of the way. The 40-yard dumpster gets there, that's $600, and we have to park it. Tell them where we park this thing at.
So we have to park it like right next to the street, right outside the property.
No. Tell them how many feet it is.
Oh, it's probably about an additional 100 feet
of us walking
to load it. So we had like, I don't even know what kind of piano. It was the...
Upright.
It was a weird shaped piano.
Yeah, it was an upright piano.
Upright, okay. Yeah. It was heavy. I mean, really heavy. We had to get that all the way from like the front of the house, maybe 200 feet from there? I don't know, but it was heavy.
Sectional couches.
Yep.
Kitchen tables made of glass.
Yep.
Chairs. Other couches, beds, mattresses, and walk them 100 feet.
Yeah.
To the dumpster, because this piece of crap of the guy that you wanted to give 15 minutes to wouldn't move his U-Haul truck. And finally, I got frustrated. I'm pissed off.
Yep.
I've asked him to move his Escalade. He refuses to. So behind your back, I call the police.
Right.
And then 30 minutes later, the police get there, and it's showtime. Now we can really start working.
Right.
And we started working, guys. The police showed up. The owner came up to me. The owner of the property was there, Todd.
Right.
He walked up to me and said, Ricardo, we gave this guy a criminal trespassing charge.
Yeah.
Do everything. I'm like, This is on. Let's go.
And really, once that happened, man, it really opened the door for us to get started and get moving. And it was really funny because we're all really tired. We just started.
We had just started, and it was frustrating me. I'm like, why is everybody moping around? You could kind of tell that the same crew we had the day before wasn't the same crew we had. Here's the problem. We started at 1, and we worked all the way to 5 o'clock, which was actually 4 hours and 30 minutes. So I'm just going to round it off at. So we got off at 4:30.
Yeah.
We only worked 4.5 hours, really, from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then 30 minutes. 4.5 hours, and the rest of the time we were bullshitting, right? We were just playing around, talking and stuff about what we're gonna do. And 4.5 hours, we complete the whole job.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but man, I hate working in the afternoon, especially starting a job in the afternoon.
So we're playing around, we're talking, and it turns to be 5 o'clock, and everybody's like, oh, everybody's tired. And I'm like, have we realized that we've only worked 4.5 hours? And it was getting dark, and it just seemed like we had worked.
Felt like 9 or 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, yeah, it did.
Crazy.
And everybody was like moping. I'm yelling at people. I was so mad. I was like, dude, come on, man, let's go. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on working. We've only been out here a couple hours. Everybody wants their union breaks and stuff.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, that's your idea. She starts yelling at me, we need our union break. And I'm like, we've only worked 4 hours.
I think union is like every 2 hours. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it, Michelle, is when the police got there, we started working really hard for about 2 hours. Then we just started coasting the whole way for the last 2 hours. Everything got done. Then we called Todd, and Todd came on the property and walked around.
Right. He was really happy with it. I mean,
he was totally blown away by it.
Yeah.
Tow trucks in and out. Tow truck came 2-3 times.
Yeah, he did.
Dumpster was getting full.
Yeah.
Police had arrived.
Yep.
We moved even the motor home.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Get the GMC out.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of work. He came on the property. What did he say to you? Because I saw him talking to you.
Man, he was just really impressed with how well we work together, especially since they're like not employees. I mean, we're all our own companies, right? And he was really impressed how well we worked together, how fast really we got it done, even though it seemed like we weren't working fast and it was taking all day. We really did do everything in a good amount of time.
The total amount of time that we spent on that property was 6.5 hours.
Right.
Now, me and Michelle, we were actually on the property about 8 hours.
Right.
But work time, I want to talk about work time when they said, let's go. And I said, quit. Because when we were done at 4:30, I said, everybody, we're done. Everybody go home. Let's start paying everybody. And we're going to get to the expenses just a second here.
Right.
But I had looked at the clock. It was 4:30, and I was like, we're done?
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Tow trucks in and out, dumpster getting full, people yelling at each other, a fire started, we did this. Tony's throwing the refrigerator out the side window, off the balcony. Washer and dryer, did you see that? He's trying to get as much as recycle as that, and his trailer did get full.
Man, I was a little jealous of that because I love to recycle too. So
Tony left with a full load, but we're gonna get back into that in just a second. The owner was totally happy. We were satisfied.
Yep.
But let's get into the expenses and how much we actually made. This is the good part, guys. So turn up the volume and let's talk about what happened, okay? Let's talk about how much we made. At the end of the day, they paid us $10,000, okay? Now, of course, that wasn't all profit at all. That was $10,000 in the sale that we made, which was our service.
Right.
The sale of our service was $10,000, and they immediately paid us. But let's go back to our expenses really fast. And I'm going to go down, so if you don't mind, pull out your calculator. We can talk about this. Our first expense was the day before. That's when we took all the trash out. I paid all the employees $100. There were 6 of us. Me and you did not take pay.
Correct.
7 and 8, $600 right off the bat. Day 2. 10 minutes into it, at 12:45, the dumpster gets there. We couldn't push it up, but it cost me $600. So right now we're at $1,200.
Right.
Now, of course, 2 of the vehicles had to get towed out of there, but he was able to put 2 vehicles on each truck, right?
Yep.
So then he took 4 vehicles, and that cost me $400. So right now we're at $1,600. And you brought a lot of bags of trash.
Yep.
And you brought some trash cans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was $100. So now we're at $1,700, guys. Okay, so let's talk about the paying the employees, okay? Herrera Junk Removal, let's start with him.
Okay.
He brought him and his wife.
Right.
I gave him only $400. I had gave him $100 the day before. We're only going to count the $400 right now because we already counted the $600. Okay,
Right.
$400. And people are going, wait, he worked 4.5 hours with him and his wife. He took the Yukon home.
Yeah, you did.
In payment, I gave him a Yukon. I said, hey, here's $400, take the Yukon home. And he goes, okay, cool. Not only that, I want to tell you something else. I also paid, a lot of people don't know this, I paid for the towing of the Yukon to his house.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Don't forget that, okay?
Didn't know that.
So guys, not only did he leave with $400 cash, I towed the Yukon that I gave to him with the white title all the way to his house in North Richland Hills, and I did not charge him for that.
Right.
And that was easily $100 extra, or 150. Yeah, that's what it was. Guys, so he got away pretty good. Now let's talk about TNT Junk Removal. We gave him $300, and so far right now we're at $2,400 that I've spent so far with TNT and Herrera. Okay. I gave TNT $300 for working that day, and he was satisfied. But I said, TNT, keep all the scrap.
Right.
Rumors have it, the next day I confronted him because he came with an empty trailer. He made $350 off of scrap.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
A lot.
So astonishing total of $650 in, well, let's say 6 hours worth of work.
Yeah.
6 hours worth of work. He did that. So we're at $2,400, guys. Let's get into paying TJ. TJ was her worker. We gave him $100.
Yep.
$2,500 so far, guys. And then the 16-foot trailer that I decided to keep, I had to put 4 tires on it. 4 used tires at $50 a tire. I spent $200 on that, and we are at $2,700 totally spent on this trailer, okay? We have one more worker, Eric Vidal. I paid him $100. And then we had a dump disposal, okay? A dump disposal that you had to pay, and that was $200. So made the grand total of spending everything, because we had 2 dumps. You had to dump one time at $50 and then another time at $150. That made it $200. Yeah. So we totally spent, and this is pretty accurate, right?
Right.
$3,000 and a little change, but we're just gonna round it off at $3,000.
Right.
We spent $3,000 and I spent $3,000. I put out that money, $3,000 cash. All of it was cash, guys. Okay, let's get down to exactly what happened. They paid us $10,000. You subtract $3,000 worth of expenses,
Right.
and you get $7,000, which marginal, that is 70% profit.
That's great.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know what, guys? I hear this. I'm going to get into that in just a second. I'm going to get into that in a minute, guys. You took $3,500, and I took $3,500. They paid her, and she immediately paid me for my services. You know what, guys? I put out $3,000, got that money back, and I made $3,500.
Yeah.
I did pretty good.
Yeah.
And you did pretty good for, what, 6.5 hours worth of work?
Well, about 8 technically.
Yeah, 8 technically.
Yeah.
2 of them were talking.
Yeah. Gotta be good at something.
Yeah. So for 8 hours, we did. I'm gonna say 6.5 hours because
Right.
we BS'd a lot.
Yeah, we
too. That's not that bad, guys. For 6.5 hours worth of work that I put in, 6.5 hours work. She put in $3,500 a piece, and we walked out of there pretty good. I felt really comfortable. I felt good.
Yeah.
I only put up $3,000. But think about it: if it was only my job or only her job, and she didn't share the job with me, she would have made $7,000, or I would have made $7,000, which would have been 70% profit.
Right.
Our expenses were only 30% on this job, which is incredible. And you can do your math, guys. It's only $10,000 in the sale.
Right.
30% was expenses. You subtract that, you get $7,000. It's easily, mathematically easy to count, guys.
Right.
Okay, so one thing I want to talk about is the margins that we made were really, really high.
Right.
So a lot of people on the Facebook discussion group page always see me doing these big jobs, and they're like, "It's impossible that you made so much margins."
Right.
So I'm asking you. You were there at the job site. Did we make 70% margins?
Yeah, we did.
Did you see all the expenses?
I did.
And all the expenses are pretty accurate that we added up.
Yes.
And did she pay you $10,000?
She did.
And did you subtract $3,000 from the $10,000?
I did.
And did we make $7,000? And did we have that?
Yeah, we
Then
did.
we made 70% margin
Yeah.
profit, guys. It's not that hard, and a lot of people are always telling me on the Facebook discussion group pages, why? Why do we do this?
Why do we work together?
Why do we work together? Well,
Why not?
Why not? 70% margin is pretty good.
Texans unite.
Yeah.
We don't fight.
We don't fight. We don't, yeah. I want to see a company out of New York.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody out of Arizona or California. A lot of people are out there in California, this and that, but I never see them sharing jobs.
Right. Right.
They sure talk a lot of smack on these videos and stuff like that, but I never see them helping out other companies.
Right.
And I challenge anybody out there to do the same thing that Junk Guys and All Junked Up have done in the last few weeks.
Right.
We work together.
What's the saying? I don't know the exact saying, but it's something like you do it together, you go further than if you do it alone.
I've never heard that, but that sounded good.
It's not the exact quote, but there is a quote like that, and it's amazing.
Guys, this is great. We shared a guide. Everybody was happy. We have a big, another eviction coming up on the 25th. I don't know anything about it so far. I know it's a huge eviction, and then we have the water slide.
Right.
And that's either coming early March or mid-March. I am not sure, so don't get me wrong, guys. If you saw the video before, it was the water slide from hell, and you're going to be included on that, right?
Right.
We're going to need some vehicles.
I can't wait to do the water slide from hell.
Yeah, you're going to want to play in the water slides. I can tell that, guys. So there it is, guys. Another great video, an eviction. Right. This is awesome. Working with you is I love making money. I love making money.
This has been awesome. And, I've got to learn so much from you. I mean, you're like a mentor. So
thank you.
It's really amazing. And I'm going to tell you, if you guys don't take away anything from this, then you're not watching it right.
It's great that she asked me for advice, but she tells me, hey, when you told me to go do the negotiation, I was like, oh yeah. Because I'm going to get money out of this. I knew I was going to get paid.
And you're good.
And I just went up there and told them straight up. I said, listen, it's going to cost you $10,000. Either we do it or not. And I want you to notice a few little tips and tricks that I did during this thing, guys. I had negotiated my price with her. I also put the money up front so I can make half of the money.
Right.
That was a big deal to me. I need to go in there making half the money, so I have to drive the price up higher.
Right.
We did do a good job.
We did a great job. Customer was happy. And when your customers tell you how happy they are, the stress you took away from them.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you know, for them to come in and do it themselves, there's just, no way. It's so overwhelming.
Listen, I want to tell y'all, so y'all are looking at this and going like this. Y'all are going, oh, my guys could have done it in 5 hours. My guys could have done it in 1 day too. No. We had professional junk removal companies come out there. We didn't have some Mexicans you pick out at Home Depot. We didn't have Joe, Juan, Tyrone working for us. We had professional junk removal services. Eric Bidell.
Yeah.
TNT. Herrera. We do this for a living. We know how to load fast. We did this as fast as we could. In 6.5 hours, we made $10,000.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody doing that, okay? This would have taken any junk removal service, what, 2-3 days to do?
Yeah. It really would have. And, you know, that's what people don't understand. You are hiring professional companies that already know how to do this. You know, you're not hiring, you know, your workers to do this. There's a big difference. Big time difference,
guys. So, overall, 6.5 hours, $10,000. I enjoyed working with you. We're fun. We played a joke that was inappropriate. We won't talk about that. Yep. Anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. This is the vlog number 3, Junk Project vlog numero
3.
See how I did that? 2, 3.
2, 3.
And we will post again next week. What do you have on the schedule? What do we have looking forward to what we're doing?
So we have the water slide. I've got some small jobs coming up, and that's about it.
I'm going to lead into the storage units you used to have.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get into that next week. We're going to talk about her storage units. She owned 12 storage units and was paying $2,500 on a monthly basis. And just recently, she got rid of most of them. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to lead into that. Don't forget, guys, if you like these videos, subscribe over there to the right side. On the left side, check out my other videos. You know what? Don't do that. That's my job. I'm the one that does that. Yeah. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.